Hello everyone. In the past videos, we have done the ArchiMetal company case studies transformation overview, the modeling practice. If you go to the repository, we finished this the chapter 3 with total 13 the diagrams. So congratulations for your the work until now. If you follow the pace, we have done the most of the views already together. So as usual for today, let's look at back a little bit on this overview section and make the modeling pattern together. So as I got the comments from the LinkedIn and friends, it is some the input feedback about this those pattern maybe not the more professional and some patterns are under the question. I fully understand. The purpose is we make this pattern is just based on the case study what we have done, so that you can consider that is just one level the abstraction from the 13 diagram and what we have used about the element and also the relationship to connect in those diagrams. It can be the yes and no or correct or incorrect, but let's take that into your mind, and later on when you have more and more patterns on your hand, you have more chance on the second layer abstraction to make that more the align with the argument the language. So that is the purpose is let's just try to keep such kind of the manner once you done numbers of the actual diagramming, remember the break a little bit and make some the summary work. So let's go to here. So we skip on this CRM vision pattern because that's only one view. But if you want this, you can put that into the document, make that is the modeling the practice. So we have 13. So we're starting from this number 09, and I already create our challenge, the page before, and today is we create duplicate one overview. So I use a separate model file. So this model file is just the ArchiMetal pattern. Both files are in the repository. So if you go to there. So if we have some element already used in the previously, the pattern, we will try to reuse. So let's see. So we have the starting from this as is, this customer service view. We have this is the business actor. So let's see if we already have a business actor from the challenge part is good, and business actor has the service, the relation from serving relation from the business, the service. We don't have that. Let's drag. So now we have this one, and we use this serving. And then this from the business process, we also don't have that, and we use the realization. So that is the thing, and the process actually is inside business actor. So that is I remember we used assign, but just for making sure you come back to the view just to have a look. So shaping. So instead of you can drag that out and make that visible. But another thing part is you see here is the DC Benelux. Look Benelux. Then if you can make these things using the analysis, you can see the shaping and the DC Benelux is using the assignment. So that is a way the analysis is quite useful. So that you can have some the idea is what are the really the usage. So let's make that like this way. So you can have that assigned. Yeah, so let's go here. Assigned from. So let's just double check is from this view is which direction. So you see here is from business actor to business process. So which means is we assign certain business people or group of the people or roles to the business process. So that assignment now is visible like this way. So that is okay for the number 9. And then let's move to the number 10. It's a little more the detail modeling, including this process and the unit. So something is we already have on this first 3 layer. And then we have the business, the service also back serving the business process. So we have our this link. So let's make using the script. I have this distribute relationship. I may have some the separate video to talk about those the JavaScript based the script for this Archi. So if you adopt those Archi membership, you have the privilege to use the scripting tool. That is very useful from my purpose. And then here is this assignment tool is visible now, but we already have that. And we have our one more this self relationship from service is have the flow, the business process. So let's make this here. So we can put that to the left. So then you can see the business flow have the process have the different step. Each step is we are using the flow. And then this they can flow to and flow from. So all those are already covered on this simple the summaries the page. So then you can starting to feel is the powerful for making the pattern. So because once you have this pattern, it's very quickly to tell you is if you put this element inside your diagram, what are the possible or the practical the relationship or you already used in certain view. Then let's move to the 11, which is the move to the information, the architecture, the information flow. First is we have this business the function. So let's drag our existing business function. So we have that in our challenges page. So business actor and the business function, also the assign to. So we have this already. So let's reuse that. And then the function to function is we have this flow. So let's see, we don't have that in the challenge part. So let's make this here. And then from this business function, we also have the flow to the business actor. So that is the information flow. So we have this, and we also have back. So if there's no pop-up dialog talking is whether you want to select or new, that means in your repository you don't have the existing the relationship there. So that is safe for you to just create a new relationship. And then is let me make that distribute. Now you can see you can assign actor to function, and you can exchange the information between the function and the actor. If those are the information is handled by the people, and you can exchange the information between function if those are the information flow between the application. So that is primarily the things we already touch base on whole things on this 11. So 11 just tell us this assignment and this two type of this bidirection the flow. that represent this information. And let's move to the application for this 12, the baseline application landscape. It's kind of the simplified because when we move to the target, the enterprise architecture is primary. The relationship and the element is already done in the baseline, so we don't need to repeat. So first is what are the relationship between the application components and the location. So let's also have a double check on this 12. So let me move this. So as I mentioned this, you can select anyone. So then using the analysis. So let's see, here is the composition, distribution center, and our order management system. So that is one way. So you can check on these three. Another way is Archi gave us a very powerful visualizer. So if you click here, that also give you kind of the pattern. So you can analyze this. You have this flow, two direction between components, and then you have the composition to the location. So that's the location. That is also easier for us to build those kind of the patterns. So we don't have the application components. So let's drag here, and do we have the location? No. So let me also drag a location. So location here. So aggregate. So that means from the location as the parents and the application components as the child. And then we have the flow. So we make like this one. So you can see that is the all the things here. So only in the two lines, and also the application components can have the aggregation themselves. So let's make that as well. So we can put that to the left. So that is the depend on is how you make your drawing is the easier. So that's the all the things for this figure 12 also, but we don't have the cross layer to connect those patterns. Let's leave on that. So let's move to the figures 13. Let's move to the technology parts. So we have the technology service. So that is one thing. And using the node is we realize the technology service. So let's make that here. And then node can have the node inside. So we have that is aggregate first. So let's make those aggregate. That is one. And then the components, the node can have several the aggregation. So it can have this system software and also the device. So let's also double check what the actual relationship we use. So I suppose it's this one. Let's make this realizer. So it's software, composition, composition, composition. So that is the use the composition, and that is partition one. You can click this, double click that, then you can have this software. The node is composition, and also the composition including the device. So that is tell us quite enough things. So let's make those things, and we have the composition and also the composition. And we have the just the association for this physical network. So that not this one. This one is a connection. So try not use the wrong one. So node we use the big node to represent the key system, and they can have this the association to the network, and also assign the node can be assigned to the technology function. So we don't have the technology function, I believe, before, so assign. But what I see here is we already have the software. So that looks like so we have the duplicate. So let me see this one. If we already use that in the challenge, let's replace that. So this one. So let me remove this from model. I don't want this, so we create several those kind of the duplications. So this one is also then we already have the composition, so we don't need this one. But we only have one device, so device composition can be linked to here. And let's make our model the cleanup, and then this assignment is put in here. Looks like it's no the duplication, the composition. Let's make this composition here. And do we have the service? Let's remove this from model. Double check is here. We don't have any duplication. So that is also one thing I want to remind you is keep checking the repository because many times it's not your as an individual to do the modeling in the enterprise. You are working with a team. So this just a sample is I did is I found is myself have some duplications, but most of the time you will find is some duplication generated by someone else or your colleague based on the other project, other initiative, other purpose. So try to check with others, discuss with them, negotiate is which one will be better to be kept in your repository. Once you have any conclusion, try to remove the unnecessary duplicated the element as soon as possible. Because once you keep that, even for myself, if I keep that to tomorrow, I may have a difficulty to rethink why I keep the two things in one repository. So that will be time consuming if you don't do that in time. And we have one more relationship realization from the technology function to technology service is here. So let's also add that. So if we look from the view, then all the components we have modeled in the pattern and all kinds of the relationship is here. So that is done for the 13, and then we all of them are the SEs. We can examine that quickly on the target. So target on the number 14 is just to add another the business actor. So that is not changed things, but looks like is we don't have our business actors. Let's see on the challenge part. Business actor, we have this aggregating the data composition. So that we should have that here. So let's make this so we can select. So when we select that, that means is we can reuse this one. Help. If you choose the box that is changing the position, if you choose this smaller one, that will make the curve of your line. So just bear in mind is that kind of different. So I put this lower. So that means is we don't have the other things, new things change here. So that we can still keep this business layer things. And then the number 14 is just changing some flow. So that also not change this one. So we still have this business function, have the flow to themselves, and the function to the business actor, and the function is assigned from by the actor. So that's no change. The 16 is are the interesting one. So they starting to connect across the different the layers. I don't want to model the pattern on this backend, this grouping, because that is not too much the business sense generate on the pattern. So let's ignore that, because just for grouping in the view. Let's more focus on the element and the relation. So first, the three layer, the business service, business actor, we already have this serving, and the business function, the realize, the business service. So those are still there, but we start use our connection to connect application, the components to business service and the business the function. Both use the serving. So let's start to have this kind of cross layer connecting. And then the business, the process, they have the flow, and then we have this flow among that, and the association. So association is quite weak. Instead, besides we use that to associate technology physical network. So for those things, I don't want to appear in the pattern, because almost every type of the components you can connect through the association. But not tell you too much the new things, so business context. So let's move to the 17 is still covered by this pattern. Just adding a new type of this relation for this order information service. The similar is on this 18, we have a cross mapping, but there's also no the relations or no new pattern introduced. This one same is we already covered by this area. Then the last view is we move to this platform, the implementation and the migration. So we use this plateau, and they have this the trigger, so trigger by themselves, and also they have the aggregation to business function and the business the process services. So they let me use this way. So you can create your the comfortable things. So because it's all of them, I want to have the clear view. So I put them like this, and I put and make the business process easier to see. So and let this here, and then we have the aggregate to process, aggregate to application, and then we have the this kind of the deliverables. It's primarily is also go to this three the layer. So let's putting that like this way. And the deliverable, let me put the deliverable in the left part, like this way. So deliverable is realized to your business process, realized to your the process and the service, and also realized to your the application. It depends on this what the scope of the project or initiative. And then this is the work package. So let's put in that here. And then that's also the realization. And the work package can be the aggregate by themselves. So it's like this way. And there's no cross relation to this technology layer. So I put that in the separate things. So that is all the things until now to this the transformation overview pattern. So I hope it's through this quick the summary we have our idea is what are the things or what are the relationship or patterns we have done together. Then this also can help you to get some more understanding is the modeling pattern what we have practiced. So let me finally make these things not overlapping each other. So like not like this. So I can put that here. So we have something connect among business layer, the application layer, and implementation layer, and almost separate on this technology layer. But it's possible. So from this application layer, you can starting to connect to node because that is kind of the implement or deployment the context which you can try to think about on your project. But for now, this view is the representation for this chapter 4 on the whole, the transformation overview. From next video is we will move to the next chapter, the detailed target enterprise architecture. It's not too many views, but you can have some more the business layers breaking down idea. After this is we will have some the target state scenario based 5 the views ahead. So almost around 10 views, then we can finish this ArchiMetal. Thank you for your watching until now. I know this is our kind of a long video, but I hope is using this 30 minutes, you have our quick the review back on this transformation overview, and also we get our the pattern here, and we can use this pattern to double check is on your future this when you do this transformation architecture overview modeling. Try to reuse whatever we have done. Then that is the best practice or recommend to you. Thank you for watching. So see you in the next video. Bye.